I go ask people in the streets of Boston, what is the American dream? They'll say home ownership. Well, who told you it's home ownership? Well, it's a marketing genius years ago when they noticed more people are renting than buying. And they said, wait a minute, guys, we got to make money. People are starting to realize it doesn't make any sense to buy a house rent like today. It doesn't make any sense to buy a house right now. It's better to rent than buy a house. What do? We got to figure something out. This marketing genius said, look, why do immigrants come to America? They come to America for the American dream. What if we're able to convince all of America that the American dream starts with home ownership? How do we do that? I don't care what company you're a part of. In this topic, we all got to be on the same page.
So let's talk about your book for a second. So your next 5 moves, you've been kind of hitting on all the moves in a way here in the time that we've been talking. What's kind of next for you? Like what are some of the next moves you're looking at right now?
So this is going live. Okay, so I just had a massive exit that I went through, a very nice exit that we just had with the company.
Congratulations.
Great partnership. Thank you. And for us, we're very excited about the insurance company. It's grown from where it was at 66 agents to today. What we've built, that's an exciting thing that we're going through in the process. We're very, very excited about it. But for me, I look at it right now with the marketplace and media. I think the next 20 years, I believe in 20-year runs. I got 2 more 20-year runs, God willing. The next 20-year run is going to be purely on the media side. The messaging of capitalism is what we're going to be leading with when it comes down to business. And I think that part of the message with capitalism is it's not Fox News, right? It's not CNN left. It's people on the left, right, middle, any angle you look at. Everybody wants to figure out a way how to get better in business. You can be a Democrat and still be a capitalist. You can be a Republican and still be a capitalist. So our vision is to tell the story of capitalism with the best stories that we can find, whether it's through movies, documentaries, shows, our own OTT, our original series that we produce ourselves, comedy. We're recruiting a lot of comedians right now. We're recruiting a lot of podcasters right now that we're bringing here. A close friend of yours, Jedediah Bila, just got started with us. She moved here from New York, and we're looking for many more. I'm currently in one of the buildings I just bought. You came to this building. We did the podcast. It was in a bank vault. We have another building that we own that we're going to create a live show where, you can do your live podcast with 200 people sitting in front of you and security, sheriff there, protection, safety, and you're talking to your guests. Let's just say you're doing something with whoever your guest is. 200 people are sitting there. They're buying tickets to come here. So we're taking a complete different angle of where we're going next. But I think the next 20 years, media is wide open. You just saw MSNBC is moving away from Rachel Maddow. You just saw CNN Plus spend $300 million and all they could get is 10,000 active listeners. They took a Wallace away from Fox and they shut the deal down and they spent let me say the word better. They wasted $300 million. America's sitting there saying, where do I get my news from today? Everyone's curious. You're seeing a great job Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro on their campus doing. You're seeing a complete different angle a Barstool Sports is going and they're entertaining. There's so many different ways of doing it. But I think the opportunity is wide open for the media side, and that's what we plan on doing next 20 years.
Patrick, you'll love this. Speaking of the $300 million that CNN pissed away on that thing, you know how much money I have spent in the history of my show, the history of the Rubin Report, on advertising. Guess how much?
How much? Wow, we're in the same camp.
I have never spent a dime. Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. So that validates that your voice, there's millions on top of millions, not even millions, there's tens of millions of people that want to hear from you, okay? There's a market that if your message is sincere, if you're straight up, if you're willing to talk and call out your own side, any sides, and you're receptive to whatever feedback they're going to give you, you're willing to evolve, just like all of us are evolving. Some of our opinions are changing. You went from an organization you were a part of before where it was seen like being in one place and then you have a meeting with Larry Elder and then boom, you're like, oh my God, this kind of makes sense. The fact that you're showing being open-minded, that's inspiring other people to say, well, if Dave can set aside his ego and he can be, man, what the hell am I? I keep getting in my own way. So your level of, people relate to your authenticity and they're attracted to it. And Dave, it's very, very hard to find authentic voices like yours. So I am not surprised you're kicking ass without having to spend a single penny.
Well, likewise, my friend, and that actually gets me back to something that you hit a few minutes ago. It's sort of this idea of selling capitalism. So in my last book, I wrote a chapter on Be a Capitalist, in essence. And when I was writing it, I had a researcher that was helping me. And we were diving into it, and I was like, man, some of this basic stuff about capitalism, about why the free market works, about what it does for you sort of spiritually, and that you have some autonomy over your life, et cetera, et cetera. Is it ironic to you that the capitalists have not sold capitalism well? That it seems like a sell job on capitalism that was the failure. It wasn't the system, it was the marketing, I guess.
Well, listen, look, everything is in the way you tell stories. Think about how pro-abortion didn't work. Who wants to pro-abort? Pro-choice, you change the word, same exact thing. Look what happens to it. There's nothing more powerful than pro-life. I'm pro-life. What a great name, phrase, pro-life, right? So market, make America great again. It's a pro-life message. I'm with her. I don't understand that, but dream Obama. Wow, that wording is like dream, Obama's going to do something that is exciting. So, in real estate many years ago, when you think about in America, what is the American dream? If you ask the average person right now, we do like a street team. You and I go to New York, I go to Boston, and we meet up later on tonight. You go ask people in the streets of New York, I go ask people in the streets of Boston, what is the American dream? They'll say home ownership. Well, who told you it's home ownership? Well, it's a marketing genius years ago when they noticed more people are renting than buying. And they said, wait a minute, guys, we got to make money. People are starting to realize it doesn't make any sense to buy a house rent like today. It doesn't make any sense to buy a house right now. It's better to rent than buy a house. What do? We got to figure something out. This marketing genius said, look, why do immigrants come to America? They come to America for the American dream. What if we're able to convince all of America that the American dream starts with home ownership? How do we do that? I don't care what company you're a part of. In this topic, we all got to be on the same page. Everybody that spends every advertising dollar when it comes down to American dream, we all do it the same way. What do you mean? Here's how the commercial should sound like. Babe, I'd love one day for us to live the American dream. What are you talking about? How much longer do we need to rent? We came to America so we can own our own home. That's the American dream. And you see the commercial. They open the keys in the door. They go inside. Wife kisses the husband and say, oh my God, it feels so amazing living the American dream. Boom! Everybody bought a house. Why? It's the flipping American dream. Capitalists suck at telling the story of capitalism. And do you know why? I'll tell you why, a big part of it. Have you noticed how Jeff Bezos has grown some brass lately? I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah, well, he seems like he's doing a little bit of a shift, although he's still doing some evil stuff with Washington Post. But I'll give him a little something, okay?
Well, but why do you think, though? Why do you think? Let's actually unpack that. Why is he talking? What are you doing twice in 3 months? You call out Biden on Twitter. What are you doing? You voted for this guy. So why is he doing that? There's only one way I can speculate. Who's the guy that gets more attention than he does? Who gets more attention than he does that's as rich as he is? It's one guy.
Elon.
Well, Elon.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you my speculation. Elon Musk is indirectly training Bezos to grow some. And Bezos starting to finally realize, I'm a freaking badass. What the hell am I doing being so afraid of walking on eggshells around everybody? I'm one of the richest guys in the world if I'm not the richest. So capitalists are afraid for others to know they're successful. First of all, screw the people that are bashing you for you being successful. There's the other 50% of America that has wanted to listen to the American dream stories because they also want to live the dream. So inspire them. Don't lose your backbone. Go tell the story of how you did it. Go tell them how hard it was. Go tell them the sleepless nights. Go tell them the amount of time you slept under your office desk. Your pillow was the floor. You're like just sitting there getting up, coding in the morning. Tell those stories because people want to know that. And then eventually more people are going to sit there and say, man, what the hell am I like? Why do I bash so many rich people? Dude, I want to go. I'm sick and tired of being broke. I want to make some money. So I think capitalists have to stop apologizing for being successful and just tell them the way you did it and be okay that you're going to get hate. You're supposed to get hate. You're a winner. Winners get all the hate. Stop like being confused that everybody's supposed to like you when you win. People don't like a winner. Like Michael Jordan was the most hated player when he was winning all the time. LeBron was hated. Kobe was hated. Steph Curry's currently hated. Draymond Green is hated. But we love winners. We admire them. So I think sometimes capitalists have lost their backbone. I'm glad to see. I'm not a WAPO fan. But I'm glad to see that even a Bezos is willing to kind of grow some and say, hey, and maybe it's the girl that's doing it to him that's saying, listen, you're a badass, say something. You got to say something. You're a pretty big badass, say something. So I'm kind of feeling like we're seeing the transition. I may be wrong, but I'm seeing that transition, which is good news.
If you're looking for more honest and thoughtful conversations about politics instead of nonstop yelling, check out our politics playlist. And if you want to watch full interviews on a variety of topics, watch our full episode playlist, all right over here. And to get notified of all future videos, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell.